I still remember the way my hand shook that morning, like it couldn't decide whether it wanted to sign the paper or drop the pen and run for my life. If you've ever hit rock bottom so loud the world echoes back at you, you'll get it. My name is Lila Brooks, single mom, waitress, expert in pretending everything is fine when absolutely nothing is fine. And that day, with exactly 6 crumpled dollars in my wallet and a 7-year-old boy who trusted me way more than I deserved, I walked into the county auction building and spent 5 of those dollars on a property nobody else in town wanted. A rotting old supply station perched on the edge of a canyon like it was waiting for one good push to fall into the abyss. People said it was cursed. People said it was dangerous. People said only an idiot would buy it. But desperate people don't get to be picky, and that day, I was the kind of desperate you can smell on someone. The kind that makes you do things you'd never do if life had gone a little easier on you. I didn't know then that under the floorboards of that dying building, there was a secret worth millions. All I knew was that my son's backpack straps were held together with duct tape, his shoes squeaked because the soles were peeling off, and the eviction notice taped to our apartment door was bright pink and loud enough to make my heart pound every time I looked at it. I needed a home. Any home. Even a broken, abandoned one that might kill us if the wind blew wrong. The auction room felt like a place people went to watch other people fail. Contractors, flippers, people with fancy boots and thicker wallets. And then there was me, second-hand jeans, hands that smelled faintly of diner grease, hair thrown into a bun I pretended was messy chic, but was actually, ran out of time again. Nobody looked at me. Nobody cared. That was kind of the story of my life anyway. When they called out Lot 22, the Red Bluff Maintenance Station, minimum bid $5, no reserve, the whole room practically snickered. The auctioneer read the description like he was embarrassed to be associated with it. Roof unstable. No electricity. Tiles missing. Access road partially collapsed. One contractor whispered to another, "You'd have to pay me $5 to take that thing." The room laughed. But I raised my hand. The auctioneer paused. He blinked. Maybe he thought I was stretching or scratching my head. But when I held the bid paddle steady, his jaw actually dropped a little. Bidder 28 at $5, he said. Any other bids? Silence. Going once, going twice, the gavel cracked the wood, and just like that, the cursed building was mine. $5 gone. $1 left. And for the first time in a long time, I felt something tiny but real, hope. The drive to the property felt like heading into the belly of a ghost story. Fog rolled in from the canyon like a living thing, wrapping around the pine trees, making Copper, our elderly golden mutt, whine in the back seat. When I pulled up, the building rose out of the mist like some forgotten fortress. Stone walls cracked, wooden beams exposed, metal fixtures rusted into orange skeletons. The wind moaned through broken windows, and for a second, I swear I heard the voice of the past whispering something I couldn't quite catch. Marcus stepped out of the car, wide-eyed, clutching his little superhero lunchbox. "Mom," he said, "are we living here?" I knelt beside him, held his hand, and said with a confidence I absolutely did not feel, "Yeah, baby. This is our place now. It just needs a little love." That night, lying in sleeping bags under that sagging roof, listening to the old building creak like it was complaining about having us there, I wondered if I'd made a mistake so big it would follow Marcus for the rest of his life. But then he curled into Copper, whispered, "This is kinda cool," and I decided maybe, just maybe, we could make this work. For a few weeks, survival became routine. I worked double shifts. I patched holes with scrap metal. I boiled water from a stream and prayed neither of us would get sick. The locals whispered about the place, called it haunted, cursed, unlucky. One old guy at the diner said the previous manager jumped off the cliff and took secrets with him. Another swore he saw lights under the floor one night, like lanterns moving underground. I rolled my eyes, but I'll be honest, this building had a way of staring at you, like it was holding its breath, waiting. I wouldn't have admitted it then, but sometimes at night, I felt like someone else was in the room with us. And then came the storm. Rain hammered the roof so hard it sounded like fists. Wind howled through every crack. Copper wouldn't stop pacing. And then, crack. The floor in the far corner gave way with a sound like stone tearing. Marcus screamed. I grabbed him, held him close as the lantern flickered wildly. When it steadied, I saw it, a perfect square section of stone had dropped several inches, revealing a black void beneath it. Air rushed up from below, cold, steady, like the breath of something ancient. When the storm cleared, I approached the hole with a crowbar in hand, heart thudding in my throat. The stone piece was a hatch, a hidden door. Under it, a ladder, rusted but intact, leading into darkness. Every instinct in me screamed no. Every memory of eviction notices, of Marcus crying when kids teased him about being poor, screamed go. I climbed down. The tunnel felt like stepping into the earth's forgotten heartbeat. Damp walls. Old support beams. A smell like metal and time. And then, a room. Carved into stone. Circular. Silent. And in the center, an iron vault door, freestanding, not connected to any wall. My breath caught. Who builds a vault underground in a canyon? My hands shook as I touched the cold metal, traced the engraving, property of RR Minerals Company. I didn't know it then, but that company had been notorious for smuggling gold through the region. During the Depression. Hidden riches. Missing shipments. Rumors of a foreman who vanished with the company's last fortune. And apparently, this was where he hid it. I didn't open it that day. I didn't even try. But I took pictures. Asked a friend, a locksmith named Alvarez, to come by the next morning. He came. He cracked the locks one by one, muttering about old engineering geniuses. And this thing belongs in a museum. When the final bolt groaned open and the door swung inward, the light from my flashlight hit something that almost knocked me off my feet. Gold. Stacked in wooden crates. Coins, bars, ingots, the kind of thing you only see in movies about heists and greedy kings. Alvarez whispered, "Holy Lila, do you know what this is worth?" I didn't. But I knew what it meant. My whole life had been scraping by, apologizing for existing, pretending poverty didn't sting as much as it did. And suddenly, I was standing on a fortune buried under the floor of my busted $5 home. But the universe never gives without testing you. I learned that the hard way. Word got out, I still don't know how, and two men showed up at the depot that night. Hard faces. Cold eyes. The kind of men who don't knock unless they want something you'd never give willingly. Evening, one of them said, stepping inside like he owned the place. "We heard you found something shiny under this floor." I stepped in front of Marcus. Copper growled so deep it rattled my bones. "You need to leave," I said, trying to sound braver than I felt. The taller man grinned. "Come on now. Don't make this messy. Just show us the vault. We take what we need. You keep a little." Everybody walks away. "I'm not showing you anything," I snapped. He moved so fast I barely saw it, grabbed my arm, shoved me against the wall, hissed in my face, "Lady, you don't get it. You're not in charge here." Copper lunged. The man kicked him so hard he yelped and hit the floor. Marcus screamed. Something inside me snapped. I shoved the man with everything I had, grabbed Marcus, and braced for the worst. But then, lights. Sirens. Boots pounding. Sheriff's deputies burst through the door, shouting commands. The men went down fast. Cuffs. Radio chatter. Chaos. Turns out Alvarez, the locksmith, got spooked after he left. He'd called the sheriff, said something didn't feel right. That call saved our lives. And the gold? It was real. Legal. Mine. After taxes, after legal steps, after months of paperwork, my $5 disaster became a fortune that changed everything. But I didn't run. Didn't sell everything and disappear. Instead, I restored the old station. Turned it into a museum about the forgotten miners who died building this region. Honored the foreman who hid the gold to keep it out of corrupt hands. I built a home. Built a future for Marcus. Built a life I never thought I'd deserve. And every morning, when sunlight hits the museum and makes the canyon glow gold, I think about how close I came to giving up. How one bad floorboard led to everything good that followed. How sometimes the universe hides treasure in the darkest, ugliest places, waiting for the one person desperate enough, hopeful enough, foolish enough, to look. Now let me ask you something. If you found millions under your floor tomorrow, would you keep it? Turn it in? Or would your past struggles make you feel like you finally earned a break? Comment below, I really want to know where you stand on this.